Hey everybody, we're back here with our 2023 Cadillac LYRIQ. Finally getting out some videos about this car. So what we're going to talk about today is something that I kind of hoped by the time I took delivery of my Cadillac LYRIQ wouldn't even be a video topic. We're going to talk about installing a dash cam. And the reason I say I was hoping this wouldn't even be a video topic on this car is this vehicle has cameras all over it. And it is actually provisioned for what they call surround vision recorder. And what that means is the car actually has an SD slot in it, and you can put an SD card in it, and all the hardware is there for using the built-in cameras as a dash camera and presumably a surround view of the car. So, you know, what you see when you're, backing up and you get that 3D surround view of all the cameras, this car has the hardware, it's always had the hardware to record that. However, they have yet to implement the software for it. And, it seems a little crazy at this point, just because these cars have been out for over a year now, and a lot of other Cadillacs like the XT6 have recording capabilities. So I'm not sure why we're still waiting on that. But I also know that I've had enough incidents over the years where I would not want to drive around without a dash camera. So my quest with this vehicle was to install a dash camera in such a way that was nearly invisible. I didn't want wires hanging out everywhere. But I also, contrary to the way I've done past vehicles, I did not want to be splicing into factory wiring or anything like that. I wanted to make it totally reversible. And to be honest, the newer vehicles get, the more sensitive they get to, to adding electronics in. So my goal was install a dash camera that I could easily remove when they should decide to implement the software for the surround vision recorder, and not splice into anything. And my ultimate goal would be to plug it into an existing port on the car, and not have to risk any problems. And so I am going to show you real briefly how I accomplished that, and hopefully this will help you in your quest to add a dash cam to your LYRIQ. And hopefully at some point this video will be obsolete and you won't even need to add a dash camera to your LYRIQ. So let's talk real briefly about what dash camera I chose. I chose one of the Garmin Dash Cams, the Garmin Dash Cam 57 specifically. Why did I choose this? There's a lot of dash cameras on the market, but I've had really good luck with these cameras. I have one that is now in the XT5 that I no longer have, that was in a SRX before that. That camera has to be at least 10 years old. Garmin's been making GPS units for eons, so they have a pretty good handle on how to make something that's going to, hold up in the heat here in the South where we live. And I do appreciate that their dash cameras have built-in GPS and show you the coordinates and speed and that kind of stuff. So I've just had good luck with these cameras. So this is the one I chose for this time around. And just as a side note, this is the Garmin Constant Power Cable. This is a neat little product. I use this in my wife's car. It works great. It just plugs into the OBD port under the dash and gives you USB. So the OBD port on a vehicle has power all of the time, and the way this turns off and on is it basically senses movement and the engine vibrations and things like that to know when to power off and on. For her car, she has a 2008 CTS, Cadillac CTS. For her car, this works great. I purchased one of these for this vehicle, and it did not work so good. And, silly me, there's just not really the distinguishable vibrations that this product is looking for, because this is an EV and there is no engine in this car. So this is not the way I ended up hooking this up to this vehicle. Neat little product, grossly overpriced for what it is. Don't get it for an EV. Probably isn't going to work for you. All right, so I'm going to do my best to explain what I've done here. Whenever I have installed dash cameras in cars I've had over the years, my preference is to locate the dash camera somewhere that it will be behind the rear view mirror when you're sitting in the driver's seat, so that it's out of the way and not obstructing my view, not a distraction. So that's going to usually be kind of off center. So basically I have it in front of this plastic assembly that holds the mirror and to the right a little bit. And then if you look closely, you can see the power cable runs up and is tucked into this plastic assembly here. So it's basically, I pulled the assembly down just enough to push the wire in between the glass and this plastic. Here's where the wire is pushed between the glass and the plastic, and this is proving a little bit difficult to film just because of the angles and everything being black. But anyway, from there I ran it up along the glass and along this plastic, and then I tucked it into the headliner. In fact, if you look really close, you might be able to actually see the wire poking out there just a hair. So from there, it's just tucked up under the headliner. So I ran it all the way across the headliner. And then I used this seam here to push the wire between the seam of the roof and the A-pillar. So basically you can just pull that a little bit loose and run the wire there. Sorry, I had to go grab a light. It's super hard to film a black interior car. So anyway, from there, I then pulled up this little rubber gasket and tucked the wire in here and ran it all the way down the A-pillar and continued to follow that gasket down the side here. From there, I went, and actually if you look really close, you can see the wire exiting the gasket there, and then I tucked it up under the wheel well, and then from there I ran it all the way back behind this carpet, and I tucked it up underneath where the carpet meets the center console here. So all along that seam there. And then I just tucked it back behind the seat. And if you open up the center console, you can see where I've just tucked it between the seat and the center console, and then the wire exits up here and just plugs into the regular 12 volt. So I'm just using the USB-A adapter that came with the Garmin and plugging into this 12 volt because that leaves my USB-C free for other things, and this turns off and on with the car. I did buy this Cable Matters USB extension because the USB cable that came with the Garmin wasn't quite long enough, and I'll leave a link to that cable in the description. So all in all, that solution works quite well. It's mostly invisible unless you know where to look for things, and it's 100% reversible if and when Cadillac should ever decide to enable the surround vision recorder. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that it's helpful to somebody wanting to add a dash camera to their LYRIQ. And I hope you guys will consider subscribing to the channel. I do have several LYRIQ related videos in the works and planned. And also, if you have something specific you'd like to see me cover on the LYRIQ on this channel, drop a comment below. I know this is a fairly new vehicle and there's a lot of questions around it, so feel free to leave me an idea for a video in the comments below. We'll see you next time.